makers and paper crafters and all things gorgeousness. Right, I have been having a play with the stamping that I did last night. I can't show it to you because I have already chopped it up. So there we go. Now, it was interesting. I had a message from somebody, I think it was on last night's video, saying, I wish I would make the cards after you've stamped. And you know what? I totally get that. I wish I had time to do that too. But sometimes, you know, I just need to get on and do the stamping and come back another day and do the cards. So I thought I would make cards out of what I stamped yesterday. So just a quick reminder, I can show you bits of it. Like I said, I've chopped it up. So this is what, you know, I stamped yesterday, that one. And, oh, somewhere I've got another little section somewhere. Here we go, little snippet. There we go. So that's what I did last night. So I will put a link in the description of this video of last night's stamping, okay, so that you don't miss out. Now, I did use an awful lot of in colours, so I was really happy then to be able to team it up with the 6x6 paper stack. Now, if you're not really a big sort of designer series paper purchaser, it might be worth considering getting these if you're wanting to do exactly what I'm doing today, which is teaming up very generic designs with your stamping, because in every colour there's a pack of paper for every colour family, and so this colour pack is for the current new in colours. And these patterns, so let me just show you a bit close up. There's a spotty side and a plaid. Oh, hold on. No, there's those ones. Hold on. I've lost a few. Hold on, let me get both. Hold on. Nearly there. Oh, here it is. Right, so start again. There's a stripe and a flower. Okay, there's that one. Then there's the spotty and the plaid. All right, spotty and plaid. And I think you get 4 of each or something like that. Anyway, you get an awful lot for your money in each pack. Now, because there's only 5 of the in colours in this, you get more of each colour. But if you're getting the colour families, you get less of each because there's 10 of those. And so each paper is primarily one colour. Does that make sense? Or shades of. So this one is Tahitian Tide. And so it is Tahitian Tide with sort of lighter, paler versions of it to create the pattern. Okay, so for example, this is the Starry Sky one. So you've got lighter flowers and lighter stripes there. So it means then that when you're trying to team up some stamping that you've done, look how perfectly that matches. Look at that. Perfect. And I will show you with the, see if I've got a floral one here as well. Have I used it up? No, there it is. Oh, no, hold on. There we go. So that's the dotty and the plaid. And then look, I can even put it with the turquoise. And I think I might do that later. Look, turquoise works perfectly. Right, so that's my little spiel about the papers. And that's found with the paper section in the catalogue. And I can always find that to show you a bit later. Right, so I'm going to say a quick hello to everybody who's watching on the live. Thank you also if you're coming and watching on the replay. Oh, the sound is crackly. Oh, that's not good. My internet's being a bit weird, I have to say. I've got 4 bars. Oh. Hello. I don't know if flicking my camera would work. Does that help? If I switch the mic off. Okay, is that better? I've unmuted the mic. I muted the microphone and unmuted the microphone. So I don't know if that's helped. Okay, so I'm going to start off with this card here. I've pre-prepped everything, but I will give you the measurements. Now, this card was I did a little bit of a Pinterest search just to get my juices flowing, you know, because sometimes that needs to happen. And I'm not ashamed to say that I don't come up with all the ideas by myself. I wish I could, but I don't. And so here we have a lovely little card idea from a lady called Hollybee. So that's her title on Pinterest. And she has a website called foreverevercrafting.com. Now, I haven't actually looked up that website, but that was what came up when this idea was there. And it's kind of like a bit of a double fold with an extra bit on it card, all right? So if I just show you the bare bones of it and then show you what we're going to do to decorate it. So the bare bones are this and this, or that way rather, and then a little square piece that you then, oh no, that way, stick on the front, so that when you have it open, you've got like, it's like a bit of an extra opening to it. Probably could do with giving that a little bit of a squidge with my bone folder just to help it, oops, stay down. There we go. Yeah, so you kind of have this double. Oh, that I guess would keep it shut. Ooh, actually, yeah. So I think I'm going to just stick it there. So that keeps it shut, and then you can open it, and then you've got this kind of like double opening as well. Right, now, measurements. I can give you this in inches and centimetres. I did write some notes, but I can't remember where I put them. I did a little, like, I cut it out of paper first just to show you. So if you're going to do this in centimetres, are you ready? You need to cut your cardstock so it's, if you use a whole piece of card, like, you know, a big piece like that, you're basically using the whole width of it, and then you're going to cut that at 14 centimetres. Now, if you're doing this in the US, your cardstock obviously is a little bit less. Oh, what was it, wider? I can't remember. Oh, yours is wider. So if you cut your cardstock down to 8 inches, that's fine. Then I scored at 4.5 centimetres, then 14.5. Okay, and then so if you do this in inches, this would be 1 3/4, and then 5 3/4, and then cut at 8 1/4. All right, I will try and put these measurements up on in the description, but if anyone wants to type them out while I'm saying it, then you never know. I might be able to just cut and paste them then. I thought I did write this out. Just trying to find my little, I've got a whole pile of little bits of paper. All right, anyway, so then you cut this piece. This is 16 by 8 centimetres. So if you're going to do this in inches, it's basically 3 inches by 6, or if you want to do it a bit bigger than that, it's 3 1/8 by 6 1/4. Okay, so that's what you do. So then you need to cut yourself some matting layers, and what I've done is I've cut them out of that lovely designer series paper that I was talking about earlier, and I've done that 1/2 centimetre smaller than the shape that I'm filling. All right, I'm not going to sit here and go into all the details of those sums, okay, because I'm sure you guys can work that out for yourself. So it's just 1/2 of whatever you cut in the first place. Now, the thing about using your beautiful stamped paper, and this is what I kind of wanted to sort of talk about really, was trying to do so in a way that still kind of shows off a lot of your stamping, and kind of making use of some of the white spaces, because I think it's a real shame if you've gone to all that bother to, you know, stamp all these beautiful flowers and then, you know, cover it up with something. So what I was trying to do was find a way of showing some of the prettier elements off a bit more. So I'm actually thinking of putting that floral section on the inside, because this bit is going to be stuck here. I thought, you know, that's you know, it doesn't really matter if that bit gets covered up. You've got a little bit of the design poking through, but actually it's better to have that on the inside. So I'm just going to start gluing. So this is unfortunately the sort of the boring bit. Oh, have I got my tape runner? Oh, what did my tape? Oh no, I'm out of tape runner. Oh well, never mind. We're just going to have to use good old Tombow and hope that it stays flowing happily so that I can quickly put this all together for you. And hello if you're watching on the live, thank you so much for coming and joining me. Tonight we're going to be using up our stamped one sheet wonders. So this will be added to, I do have a playlist called using your, you know, one sheet wonders, stamped one sheet wonders. So if you haven't checked out that playlist, please do so, because it's a really good resource for those of you who have piling up sheets and sheets of these stamped one sheet wonders and you don't know what to do with them. So all right, now you see part of me does want to put that flower like that, but then my butterflies would be upside down and that just freaks me out. I don't like butterflies upside down, but you might do. If you like butterflies upside down, that's fine, you can do it your way. Okay, so what else have we got going on here? So I know I need to, oh right, now you know what I was saying earlier about using up that white space? Well, what I've done is very carefully, not carefully, it kind of just happened actually. I've ended up with a panel that's got quite a bit of white space and a panel with the flowers on. So I did kind of do that deliberately. I sort of looked at my card that I had, and this was the first card that I cut out of that sheet. So I could be very kind of strategic in how I cut it up. So I want this gorgeous flower panel to kind of be on the front cover like so, and then have the inside section where I could either, you know, I could maybe stamp a sentiment in there or even start writing my own message, you know, if you wish to do that and have your message on display, I suppose you could do that. But yeah, I'm thinking I might stamp something there on the inside because I've got that little bit of space there. So I'm just going to stick this all together. Anyway, how are you guys doing today? I'm trying to think what I've been up to. Oh right, so rather exciting. Our Tom's nephew is getting married in the summer, and I know 2 weddings this year, and he sent this email out to remind us that we needed to tell him that whether we were going or not. So he, you know, all modern technology now, you don't write off an RSVP, you do it all via the internet. And then also there was a link to put you need to choose what pudding and starter you want. Okay, so who wants to hear the menu choices? We have a choice of bruschetta with fresh tomato and oh, I can't remember what else it said now. Yeah, I can't quite remember. And the second choice is a salmon and like a salmon parcel, I think it was. Or did it say salmon and prawn? I can't remember. Oh, now I've realised I've cut this a little bit wrong, this piece. I've left a bit of it's too slim. I should have cut that a little bit wider. But you know what? It's too late. I'm not going back on it now. I'm just going to go with it. Gonna go with it. And see, look, that's a bit too wide. So what have I done there? I've cut that the same size. Okay, let's just cut that little 1/2 centimetre off. Let's see if that's correct. That's it. All right, there we go. Oh, that's a shame. I made that little mistake there, but there we go. What do they say? Measure twice, cut once. I should have done that really. Yeah, and then the main meal, I'm quite excited about this. It's called a barbecue buffet. And so basically there's going to be a choice of burgers. Yummy, yummy, yummy. I don't think I've ever had burgers at a wedding before. I'm very excited. Yeah, so there are burgers, and then all right, these are the pieces that I need for here and here. The pudding choice is sticky toffee pudding, or what they're calling, now we call it generally Eton mess, but they're calling it an orchard mess. So I don't know whether they're using fruits from the venue. So the actual venue is like a kind of, it's kind of like a stately home with a church on it, I think. So like it's all in one type thing. Everything's on the same, in the same location. And so Eton mess in the UK is usually whipped cream with chopped meringue and fruit and maybe a bit of a sauce running through it. But they've called it orchard mess, and that it's being served on meringue nests. So it's kind of like a cross between a mini pavlova and an Eton mess, I guess. But there we go. Right, now this piece here, as I said earlier, I think we could stick it so that it actually captures that inside, so it stays locked. When the person opens it, it will stay locked, and then they can open it, and then that will open out. Now, I was wondering whether, you see, I've got this spare bit here to hide sort of that mechanism by popping that square on the inside once I've stuck it down. And I had this left over, and I thought, look, I can just pop that underneath, so it looks like it's all meant to be part of it. Yeah. What do you think of that? So I was quite pleased about how this all came together. So the colour that I'm using, this pinky reddy colour, is the new sweet sorbet, which teams beautifully with Flirty Flamingo, which is the card base. So I'm using the card base Flirty Flamingo. Right, I should look up to have a look at your comments. I was saying you can have it as an interlocking card. Thank you, Esther. Right, is there any other questions? Right, hello Sally, Liz, Shaz, Mary, Anne, Dagmar, Mindy, Tina, Martina, Linda, Louise, Amy, Margaret, Roberta, Jan, Minda, Audrey, Darlene. Is it still crackly, or are we all right now? Better now. Okay. Hi Claire. Hi Deddy. See. Hello. Lovely. Annie, Janine. Oh, there we go. All good now. Oh, lovely. Right, so I've got to stick this section down very, very carefully so that the glue doesn't interfere. So I'm just going to pop a layer of glue here. So please don't run out at this point, glue, because I need you to hold. And I'm going to very carefully, and I want to eyeball this bit because I want this to be in the middle here. That. So it's nice because it's got a bit of a space all the way around. Actually, I might move it over just a little tad like that. And I think what I'm going to do is use my extra fingers. So this is what I call my extra fingers, my pegs. I love my pegs. And I'm actually not going to touch this for a few minutes. I'm just going to let that glue really soak in and really get stuck down. And we'll come back to that in a bit, okay? So there we go. That's my first card. I'm not sure what to call it, really. I can't remember what this lady Holly called it. I might have to look back and see. Okay, so moving on. We have now got a pop-up card to show you. I think this is all the bits for it. I think so. So... aren't I a good girl? I pre-cut this for you guys earlier so that I didn't have to faff around too much, but I will go through the measurements. I try to keep measurements as simple as possible, not just to help my brain when I'm designing, but also for you guys when you're revisiting this sort of stuff. So Basically, our 5 centimeters in the UK is very similar to you guys's 2 inches. Those of you who use use inches as opposed to centimeters. So to cut this base, it's pretty much the size of a standard card base like you would normally have, but you're going to put some extra scores in it. And this is exactly the same measurements that I would use for a tunnel card. And in fact, that is kind of what we're creating to start off with. So this length here, this width here rather, is the full width of an A4 piece of cardstock, which is the 21 centimeters. And again, if you're using US size paper, you just need to cut it off to 8 1/4. Then you're going to score at 5, 10, 15 and 20, or in inches that's 2, 4, 6, 8, and the height of it is 14 centimeters. Now you can do it a little bit bigger if you want to, it's up to you, but I just thought it's easier for my brain to remember 14, and so for you in this in inches, that's 5.5 inches. Okay, and so what we're going to do is do this kind of like pop-up effect, and then we're going to have these cubes, these pop-down cubes. I've done this before, so for those of you who've seen my channel before, this is not new, but we're going to have these pop-down cubes come from here. And this one come from here. Now, the thing that I haven't pre-prepared is what I'm going to do in the middle. I haven't decided. So you guys can help me do that. Right, so first of all, what I'm going to do is decorate my little pop-down cubes. And I have already pre-cut, she says. Yay, here they are, my little pegs, held them all together. I've got my pre-cut bits and pieces. So these are actually going to go on the inside. I like a little sort of bit of a surprise on the inside. And then these are going to be what decorate my pop downs. So I've got that and that. And I'll go for something a bit different on each one. There we go. Oh, I might go for a bit. Oh no, go, oh, I don't know. There we go, that'll do. So, oh, slowly running out of this glue, yay. Another one bites the dust. So this here, so the cardstock is Orchid Oasis, and I have used the Starry Sky Designer Series paper, and as you can see, I've used the dotties for this, the design. And actually, I've just noticed the dots are actually tiny weeny little hexagons. I had not noticed that before. Right, I've got a glue here that needs, oh, that's a bit too sticky. Oh, I don't know if that's going to stick. Oh well, I'll try it and see. That can go there. That can go there. And then, oh no, let's get the gooey one. And the beauty of Tombow is, you know, you've got that little bit of wiggle room. So you can put it on and then give it a little bit of a swish around to make sure it's exactly in the right place. Hi Heidi! Hi Glenna! Oh, did that just move then? Yeah, it did, didn't it? Naughty. Stay. Oh, I went to visit a friend of mine today and she's got a dog. Oh, I got some lovely so to start off with, we were in the sort of an outbuilding, and the dog, just every time there's a van, it's just like, it's there. It's like, what's going on? And so my friend was trying to get it to stay on its chair, but no, I don't want to do that. Okay, I've decided actually I want to hide that bit, that sticky bit. So I think I'm going to just stick these like that, so that that section's actually going to go on the back like that. So then I've got to stick my limey pieces so that when you look in it, you've got them there just on the side and on the inside. So I'm just going to flip that back open so that I know where to stick those. So, bit of glue for that. I did a bit too, it was a bit too exuberant then, wasn't I, with the glue? Yeah, and then we went inside, and then the dog quite liked my coat, so I was sat down, and it curled up on my coat and put his head on my lap and had a little cuddle. Very cute dog. It's like it's a poodle crossed with something. So it's, yeah, it's very cute. Actually, my friend's daughter actually watches, well, she's my friend too, the daughter. She watches my channel. So, hello, if you're watching. Right, there we go. So that's that bit that's going to go on there. Right, I think I might even just stick it all together, because it will then give me an idea of where to stick. There's another bit of paper that I want to have stuck on here. So I'm just constructing my little cubes like so. There we go. Now, if you're making this and you haven't got, like, how many people, 69 people watching you, I would say take your time to do the gluing. I've just been very rough and ready with the application of the glue because, you know, I've got to get on. But yeah, if you're doing this, take your time. Right, so like I said, I wanted that. Oh, why isn't it not folding properly? Okay, so this is going to be attached to here like this, because it's then going to flop down. So I'm just going to apply some glue to that section there. Be quite generous because I want that to stay. And then I'm just going to pop that then onto the card like so, right at the bottom and up to that side section. Okay, because that's the bit that's going to flop down like so. So let's just double check this. So that's how it's going to look. So I've got to just push that up and then put some glue. Did I do that right? Yes, I did. I have a bit of a panic, like, did I do that? Oh, come on. No, that's not working. Let's try this one. There we go. You go up, and then you can go right next to that one. Keep that one company. And so just take your time just to try and get it as precise as possible. There we go. Hi, Ivy. Oh, you used to breed poodles growing up when your sisters and I cried every time they went to their new home. Oh. Okay, so we're nearly there. Yay. So I've then got, so these pieces are going to go on the inside. But I've also got these to go here. And this is why I wanted to stick it all down, so it was a bit easier for me to kind of eyeball that and get it stuck down. Oh, I'm just going to pop that there so it's a bit easier for me, so they're out the way. Oh, so back to the wedding choices. So for the pudding, like I said, we've got a choice of that meringue thing and then the sticky toffee pudding. And then the other thing we have to choose is a song to be played at the disco. Oh, so cool. So we've 3 people in our family who've already done their choices. I'm still deciding what song. There are so many songs I'd love to have a dance to at a party, at a wedding. I really love dancing music from all ages. So I'll tell you what we've already chosen. Well, not we, my children. 2 of my children and my husband have already chosen. So I wonder if you can guess what my husband has chosen for his song. Now, bearing in mind it is a wedding, so we were joking earlier as we were listening to some ABBA songs, because May's chosen an ABBA song, and saying what would not be appropriate at a wedding. So we did cancel some of them and went, no, that's not appropriate for a wedding, can't have that. Like was it one of the ABBA songs was something like I played around until I found you, or something like that. That's the line. We're like, no, we can't have that at a wedding. That's a bit rude. Because actually, I think this nephew, this is it's his first girlfriend that he's marrying, which is ever so romantic. So yeah, no, we can't have that one. So yeah, so what do you think? Dancing Queen? No, she's not chosen Dancing Queen, although she could have. It was a struggle for her actually, because she does like a few ABBA songs. Right, now this is where I get a bit like confused. Do I stick that on the inside to hide the seam and then have that there? Because in my opinion that isn't hidden, because you get to see that little seam there, whereas if I stick it at the back you don't see it at all. So you only see a bit of it when you stick that on. And you don't usually have cards displayed from the back, do you? You have them displayed from the front. So in my opinion, it's better to have the seam at the back. Yeah? Yes, so she chose Mamma Mia. Okay, so she went for Mamma Mia. Right, so Rocky theme tune, says Esther. Oh, for Tom. Okay, I'll help you narrow it down. It's from High School Musical. High School Musical, yeah. And it's appropriate for a wedding. So let's see who the High School Musical fans are out there to tell me which song you think Tom would have chosen. The only way is up. Oh yeah, that's a good, oh yeah, because I need some ideas. Because I'm just thinking dance. So just before I came live, I was listening to Jump. House of Pain. Jump, jump. I love that song. And then I was also listening to, some of you know who Sergio Mendes is? The song goes something like Mashkana da da na 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 na. It's got Black Eyed Peas with it. It's just really danceable. It's so great. The All in This Together. No, that is a good one though. That's a good idea, but no, he didn't choose that one. You're on the right track though, Janine. Yay! Linda got it. The start of something new. Yeah. It's the start of something new. David Bowie, Let's Dance and let's get this party started. Oh, the only way is up, baby. Actually, I really like that song. For you and me now. Yeah, what else was that? Oh, I looked up The Girl from Impanina, but we decided that's not a very dancey song. It's a lovely song, but not a very good one for dancing. Oh, yes, so I'm very proud of one of my sons. He chose an Earth, Wind and Fire song that I didn't, well, maybe I knew he knew it, but I was quite impressed that he knew it. My kids' music tastes are probably wider than I realise. Or maybe I've been a good influence, I don't know. I do like Earth, Wind and Fire. So, a nap. Oh, a nap. I know, Yaz and the Plastic Population. Yes. It used to play all the time on Oh, what was that channel, Esther, on cable? The Box. The Box. Oh, hold on, that's moved. That's moved. Don't move. Oh, no, too late. Nothing I can do about it. Okay. Right, so now I wanted to put something here as a sentiment, but I might come back to that because I haven't got any great ideas just yet. So we're going to come back to that. Let's have a look how the previous card is doing. So, oh, the Lambada. Yeah. Oh, 1,000 Years by Katy Perry. Right, so that is pretty much stuck now. So obviously it's not going to stand up like that. So you just go whoop, open like that, and then you've got all these like lovely sort of flip-flop elements to it. Just make it very interesting, I think. So there we go. I suppose you could rest it like that if you wanted to. But isn't that lovely? It's all beautifully coordinated because of the designer series paper. And the thing to remember when you're trying to coordinate pattern with pattern is that you need to kind of go for opposites and contrasts. So here we've got, you know, this paper with that, you know, I stamped yesterday with quite big, bold designs. And so to make that show up and to sort of heighten, you know, what this is, you'd need to then put a contrast. So this is why it works really well by putting this, you know, detailed, it's still detailed, but it's more of a solid pattern. And that just helps to kind of show it all off. And then you open up the card. Oh, I forgot to stick this piece. I got so excited about sticking everything down. I was just looking over there going, what is that piece doing over there? So let's pop this in. This is the final bit now to go in here. Let's pray silence. There we go. Sweet Caroline. Da, da, da. That's a good one, Liz. Oh, you walked down the Art of 1,000 Years. Oh. Right, there we go. So you can, yeah, open up. Now, I guess what you could do is put a piece, if you had a bit of spare of the whatever, you could put a piece on there. I have kept, though, I have got some little offcuts from cutting out. So if you wanted to do your main message on the back, that's absolutely fine. Let me just see if I've got any white, pre-cut white cardstock. Oh no, I've got a bit of white paper. So one could write your message there on the back. Let's just trim this down. And then you can oh look, there's a thin bit I could decorate with as well. So don't throw your oh, why is that not cutting? Don't throw away your little bits and pieces, because I'll just double check because you can always decorate little plain bits, and also your envelopes, of course, so to sort of tie everything back together. So let's see. Right, you can tell when I'm concentrating. I can't talk as well. Right, let's see. Do a bit of that and that. Not waste it. Also helps just to frame it a bit. Okay, and then I've got this panel here. Right, tiny bit of glue on there. And it seems a shame to waste, you know, anything that you've stamped, really. You know, because, I mean, if you watched last night, you know that it, you know. Oh, look, perfect. That can go in there, can't it? Love it when that happens. Right, so. Oh, silly me. Did anyone realise what that was going to happen? I've lost my mechanism. Did no one realise that was going to happen? Oh. Oh, poo sticks. Oh well. Oh well, I suppose you can always put it in like that, can't you, in the envelope? All right, so you have a choice. You have a choice. Either you can keep the mechanism and don't cover that bit up, or you lose the mechanism and cover that section up and then just close it like that. So it's like do. Okay, which is actually quite nice because it means that you can kind of go, oh, it's like intriguing, like as you open it, you know, like that. All right, so yeah. Thanks, Janine. Oh, you're too kind. Very gracious of you. Right, I think we'll come back to this one. I want to carry on with showing you then what happens with some of the leftover pieces. Oh, actually, no, I'll tell you what I was going to do. I've got this bit here ready cut, and I thought it would be nice to do a cutout section. So what I've done is I've cut those panels to fit, although I've just realised that is actually the wrong measurement there. Bear with, I don't know why that is. What's that measurement? 14.5. Oh, okay, yeah, I cut my base was too wide. Okay, let's just cut that down. Right, I wanted to show you just a really simple like peekaboo element that you can do with your card. So you've got your piece of Stamp One Sheet Wonder, then you've got your designer series paper underneath, which is slightly bigger, and then your card base, which is slightly bigger still. And now we don't have a circle punch at the moment, so you could use a die to do this, but because of the sake of time, I'm going to use a punch because I can just grab that off my shelf and do that. And I'm going to cut out a section here with my punch like that and have that as what I call a peekaboo element. Okay, and also I think when I come to stick it, I'll actually stick it raised, and then you can use that peekaboo element and stick that. You could stick that on the inside if you wanted to, like so, just as a bit of a feature, and then stamp some kind of greeting there. All right, so let's have a look at what I've got. I think what would fit in, like a thank you, I think. I haven't stuck the stickers on this one yet. Sorry about this. Right, so this is what happens when the stamps come. You get a sheet of stickers, and then you need to, there's a couple of ways you can do it. This is one of them. You just line your stamp up on the sticker and you pull that away so that you can then get a better idea of where you're stamping. So there we go. Now I quite fancy doing some kind of border around that. Ooh. Hold on, bear with, I'm just thinking. Right, so if I cut that out of that. Oh, I should have done it further along because otherwise my punch is going to get stuck. Do that. This is the 2 1/4 inch punch now. So I know some of you have got these punches, so you can do this trick. There we go. So I just wanted a little frame, just to make it a bit more pronounced, that cut, like that. Okay, so let's sort that section out first. Just going to put a tiny bit of glue. I've got some rough edges. I'm just kind of using my thumbnail to get rid of those rough edges. Put a tiny bit of glue blobs on, and I'm spreading the glue blobs, because the danger is that if you leave those blobs there and then you go to put it down on your cardstock and you squish it, it might squish to where you don't want it. So yes, I know this is larger than what I need. I deliberately did that because it's always easier to cut it off afterwards. And also, I'm not quite decided if I want to have that reach to the edge. What do you think? Shall I have it reach the edge, or shall I have it cut off with the One Sheet Wonder? What do you think looks better? Do you think I should cut it off at the One Sheet Wonder, or so say OSW or edge, depending what you think. Right, while you're letting me know about that, I'm going to stamp my sentiment. I think I'll use the Starry Sky. Hi, Afifa and Amina. Who are you? Nice to meet you. The edge. Ah, hi, Amanda. Yes, that right. So that's what it's like against up to the edge. That's what I mean. So I could just leave it and just trim it there, or do you want me to cut it off? That's what I mean. So there we go. So do you like drawing and or art, Afifa and Amina? Oh, edge of the green. Ah, okay. That's fine. Okay, so thank you anybody who's new watching. Just remember, this is a public space, so don't put any personal information about yourself in the chat. Oh, I put that in the wrong place, haven't I? Oh well. Maybe if I oh well, I'm not sorting it out now. I should have been a bit more thoughtful about where I was going to stamp that. Right. Oh, I was gonna lift this up with some dimensionals. Yeah, and if you don't follow my channel and you like what you're seeing, please do. To be honest, that I've just realised that sentiment is probably a little bit. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do that. It's a little bit too small. Let's see if I can find something else. I want to find something that's going to actually use that space up. Feel better, friend. It's not a bit bigger than what's there. Well, I think that suits it better because it uses up the space better. Okay, there we go. Like I said, there's always two sides to every piece of paper, and with this paper, if you're really desperate, you can always sort of turn it over and do that as well. So there's actually 4 options. Move that out of the way. I don't need you for a minute. Right, let's pop that back on. Oh, I did it upside down. Oh my goodness. Tell you what, please don't watch me if you want to know how to stamp properly, because not tonight anyway. Oh. Right. So I'm just going to lift up this card. So this is where all the edge pieces come in real handy. Let's look, I can use those along there. Ooh, who likes watching Bosch on Amazon Prime? My husband's a fan of Bosch. But it's one of those you've got to watch without the youngies in the room. Oh, hello Bangladesh. Lovely to meet you. Yes, I've had a quick look at your channel at Afifa and Amina, and I could see that you're into drawing. What do you like drawing? This is where I just got to make sure all the stickies are off. And because I've got lots of dark hair, I find my hair everywhere. Right, let's give this a wee little snip. Yes, new in colours, Mary. That's what I'm using tonight. I'm using the Parakeet Party. Oh no, what did you say? The end of this bit. Right. Well, I got there in the end. Yes, this is the new in colour DSP, Mary. It's the 6x6 pack. Indeed. Right, so that goes there, and then so when you open that, it's almost like a trick of the eye. It's like, oh, there's the bit there. So I don't know how I'm going to get this exactly. Just got to kind of eyeball it, really. It's about there. What I could have done is laid the peak, before I stuck that section down, I should have laid it in here and then stuck this bit down. That's what I should have done. But never mind. Yes, I've still got spaces for this weekend's workshops. I've got less people on Saturday, but I do still have spaces for Friday and Saturday. So choose whatever one is better for you. Okay, right, let's move on. So we've done 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. What's it? Nick on my knee, I think it is. Right, now, I know some of you love making slimline design cards. But the thing I find, I don't know if you find this, is when you do slimline cards, it does use kind of extra cardstock, doesn't it? Because you tend to be able to get 2 cards out of 1 sheet of cardstock, but when it comes to making a what I call a fatter slimline card, you only get 1. All right. So I was looking at some leftover DSP, the 1 sheet wonder that I stamped yesterday, and I thought, oh, I've got a long piece. This would make a really great slimline. But instead of sticking that onto a whole piece of cardstock, I've decided just to use a normal card base size. And I'm just going to stick it across like that. So although it will still need to go into a DL envelope, or a, I think you guys call it letter-sized envelopes in the States. We call it DL in the UK. You kind of, you're not wasting that huge piece of cardstock, you know, by keeping that length. So I thought that was a fun kind of frugal little tip there. And so what I've done is I've got a matting layer here. Now, also to be extra frugal, what I could do is actually cut out some stuff from the middle. And if I cut, oh, actually, I wonder if, I was just thinking it'd be quite nice to cut the heart out. Might not use it for this card, but now as long as that will go either side and be hidden, we'll be okay. So we'll save that for later, that bit. I think it's a letter size. It's basically your not letter size. So someone has told me what it is, but I've forgotten. It's basically the long, thin envelopes. What do you call it? Business. Thank you, Darlene. Thank you. That's it. Business size envelope. Yeah. Right. So this measures the base, the pink base measures 21 centimeters across. And I've got a feeling this measured 7.5, I think it was. 7.5. So in inches, that is 8.25, but you would do 8.5 inches across, and then 3 inches wide. Okay. So, but as I said, this is just a card base, so you'd get 2 of these out of your piece of cardstock. And then what I've done is I've got a piece of the DSP, and now I don't need that DSP to go right across there, so I'm just going to stick this on the inside. And I had half a thought to actually to do some embossing, but I thought, let's use some of this lovely DSP, because what I wanted was texture. I didn't want to go for lots of additional patterning. So I'm going to use this DSP. I cut the heart out of, the Flirty Flamingo. This is Flirty Flamingo, Amanda. Yep. Right, so let's just stick that on either side. So this measures just 0.5 centimetre shorter there and 2 centimetres wide. So now, if you're doing this, you may find that your strip is a bit shorter, or sorry, a bit narrower or wider. So basically, I'll show you the tip that what I did to figure out how much DSP I needed. I'll just show you that now. This is for when you're having a bad maths day, when you can't figure it out in your head and you have to have something visual. All right. So this is what I found easier. You get your ruler. Well, I actually use a trimmer, and so for me, because this is I'm doing it in centimeters, so this measures 10.5. Then if you put that section there, that tells you you've got 3 centimeters left. So 3 centimeters divided by 2 is 1.5. Okay, so you know that either side of your card is 1.5 centimeters, 1/2 centimeters. So then I just added on 0.5 centimeter. So I knew then I had to cut a 2 centimeter strip. So you can do the same in inches, you know, so you've got, you know, 4 inches there, do that there, you know, you've got 1 and a bit inches. So if you cut 3/4 of an inch or even 1 inch, you know that you've got it covered, but also you're not wasting the DSP, because the DSP is going to get hidden. All right. Now, if you want to stick dimensionals on this, you can do. I'm not. I'm just going to stick this straight on. Also gives me the rough area of where I need to put the glue. Now, this is the bit that's a little bit trickier, because I've got to figure out the center. So I'm going to use my grid paper here as a bit of a guide. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 squares of pink, 1, 2, 3, 4 and a bit squares there, 1, 2, 3, 4 and a bit squares there. Okay, so I know that that's now in the middle here. So I'm just going to place that on top and just check how many squares have I got. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 and a bit. Just move that over a little bit more. And it just so happens that the DSP I used has got a stripe on it. So in terms of lining it up horizontally, I've got the guide there already. That's helpful. Okay, got some extra gooey bits. Right, let's make sure that's stuck down. So there we go. So that's how to do a cheat slimline. Cheat slimline. And I think I have cut another one. So if you don't mind, I'm actually going to stick this one together as well. Did I go for, oh no. Didn't know whether to go for. I think I was going to go for that card base. And this time I was going to put this. So I thought I had some cut out. I've got that one. That side or that side? What do you think? Spotty or plaid? Oh, where's my little... Oh, what's my little... Oh, it's on the floor. So what do you think? Shall I go for the spotty or the plaid with this one? Hey, Sherlock! My maths is bad on the days that end with a Y. Very good. You guys are on form tonight. So there we go. You saw it first here. A faux slimline card. Now, obviously, it won't work if you're doing a tent fold. Is it? No, not tent fold. What do I mean? You can't. What I mean is you can't open the card that way because it won't balance. It will work for a tent fold landscape. Okay, that's what I mean. Oh dear. Oh look, we've got division amongst the ranks. So let's have a look at the votes. Spotty, plaid, spotty, plaid, spotty, spotty. Oh no, I've lost count. I went the wrong way. Right, hold on. Spotty, plaid, spotty, plaid, spotty, spotty, plaid, spotty, 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 plaid. Oh, and then got to go down. Plaid, plaid. Oh, I think the plaid has it, unless someone else can, bribe me. I'm joking. Don't bribe me, please don't do that. Could have spotty and plaid to make everyone happy. Could do both. No, not both. I'm just going to have a little swig of my ale, my pale ale. I should have done a proper. I know what. I'm not going to. I'm going to close my eyes. I've closed my eyes. I promise. And I'm just twiddling and twiddling and twiddling and twiddling and twiddling. And then I'm going to count down 3, 2, 1. That's what it is. There we go. Sorry. Right. When you make this card, this is what I say this often on my lives, don't I? When you make this card, you can do it this way or the other way. I actually didn't mind either way because I can see the benefits of both. So I didn't actually have a massive preference then. I thought I liked the spotty better until I saw it with the plaid and then went, oh, actually the plaid is really nice. So there we go. I have no bias for that one. And I forgot to punch out a section of that, but never mind. Can't be frugal all the time. Right, let's do my little trick. You know what, I'm going to get a pencil so that if I have to do this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Stick that on the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, go over a bit. Line it up with the bottom one. That'll do. Right, so 2 faux slimlines. Oh, I managed to get a bit of glue on there. Get that off. There we go. That one and that one. So let's just go back and revisit this because I want to put something pretty on there. And where's my little... I did have some extra little pieces to play with, didn't I? That I punched. Where's the bit that I punched earlier? Oh, it's on the floor. Right, okay. Right, I do have this little section left, and I wondered if I could do a mechanism then to have this pop out slightly. Now, I don't want to actually cover too much of that, so I'm just thinking a little pop up there. Now, whether or not I end up sticking kind of like a butterfly or something on there, I don't know, but I thought it would be nice to have... Oh, I know what, let's just go with the width of that, because that is the width it is. So let's take that measurement. So that measurement is just under 5.5 centimeters. And what's this? 4. Okay, so we cut this to 4.5, and then cut that to, did I say 5.5? Just to make life a bit easier for me when it comes to cutting this one out. So 5 there. And so I do have enough space if I wanted to do a very small sentiment there. Or, I don't know, I'm thinking maybe a nice butterfly stuck on there. Just gives it a bit of a base to do that. So the mechanism, and some of you have seen me do this before, it's very simple. You just need 2 sections folded in half. So I'm actually going to use this scrap here and just do a score through there. What does that measure? 4 centimeters. That's easy. Cut that at 2. Right, so I've got my 2 pieces of little pieces with the bit cut out. Now I'm looking at this thinking I would like... Oh, look at that. That is what I have in my collection. Ooh. Ooh, that I prefer that. Or should I? No, I think I quite like that on that. So I just need to trim a little bit off. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I was just thinking I need a darker border around that. And that was the exact piece that I had left. So 5.5. Oh no, what am I doing? So that's 5.5. No. Let's take that down to, that's 4. That's 4.5. Okay, so let's take that down to 4. Sorry about this. Just, you know, perfection takes time, you know. Hi. Oh, bye, Amanda. See you. 4, and then take this down to, take that one down to 3.5. There we go. Okay, so let's pop a little bit of glue on there. And then a bit of, oh, don't move. That's the only thing about that first piece not being properly stuck down. When you go to put it on, it might move. Go, 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 go. Right, there we go. Right, so to do the mechanism, you just fold these pieces into half, like so, and pop a bit of glue on one side. Actually, I'm going to share the love, share the glue there, because I've got too much. And pop on either side of the score line there. So it doesn't even matter if they're slightly different size, because you're not going to see it really. Right, make sure that's... There we go. Hi, Lorraine. Hi, 90 people. Thank you so much for watching. If you wouldn't mind, please do remember to give me a little thumbs up before you leave. Okay, so I'm just eyeballing that now. Sorry, I put glue on it and then stuck this on. I'm just going to hold that there for a little wee while. I was wondering how to do that. Give up on predictive text. Oh, bless. Okay, so, ta-da! So that bit sticks out, although that doesn't look like it's quite... Maybe it's because it's got the different patterns on both sides that I'm... No, that is perfectly equal. Would you believe it? It's perfectly equal. I think sometimes when there's patterning or different patterning on both sides, it kind of makes your eyes go a bit weird. But that is perfectly equal. So I'm thinking a really lovely kind of dark butterfly cut out and stuck there. Or as I said, you can do a sentiment stuff. I'm not going to do that tonight, guys. I think I've given you enough of an idea of how it could look, and I'll let you get on now and do yours. So I've still got a few little scrappy bits left over. There we go. But I'm not going to play with those tonight, but I'll keep that in my little scrap bag there, and then maybe I'll come on and do some scrap cards, and I'll have all those little pieces all together already, so it'll just make it a bit easier when I do a scrappy card. Right, I'm just having a wee little tidy up before I show you everything. Okay, so the first card we did tonight was this one here, which is like a kind of like a crisscrossy opening one, really. Yeah, and obviously if you go back and watch the replay, if you did come in later, there is an option not to stick this section here so that that flap will sit inside there. I guess I could always cut it with a little knife, but that may spoil it, so I'm not going to do that. I'll just take some of that glue off. All right, so if you want to see how I stamped the paper, do check out last night's video, and I'll put the link in the description below. And I will also put a link to the Pinterest pin that I found this design. Now, I did kind of do the measurements and everything myself, so yeah, go back and watch the beginning of the video, because I did do the measurements. Okay, so you've got this kind of like double opening. You've got this little card on the front. Now, I suggested that actually you have it open like that. So you've got 1, 2, and then 3. And then I think it'd be lovely just to stamp little messages. You know, you could have one there, you could have one there, and then you could have one in there as well. So, you know, as the person opens a card, they could have lots of lovely little messages. Or, of course, you could handwrite something special. You know, if you like writing poetry or scripture or anything like that, you could, you know, maybe do that in there. And then also you have got space at the back if you wanted to put a longer message, so you could pop that in the back. So that is, I've never made a card sort of this way before, so I really quite like that. That's fun. Right, and then we've got the kind of pop-up box one. Now this closes down and fits into what I would call a normal sized envelope. Look at that. You know, it fits beautifully. Might have to send it large letter, because it's a bit thicker, but it all folds very neatly together and then kind of pops up. Hopefully, we have this discussion sometimes amongst us paper crafters, saying, do we need to send instructions sometimes with our cards? But I would hope that someone would kind of figure out that is what you do with it. And then, of course, you've got your section at the back that you can write on. So that's that one. So I'm just reading up Jan B made this card. Oh, did she? What, this one, Anne? Ah, okay. Well, I didn't find it through Jan B. I found it through this other lady. I've forgotten her name. I had hers. I mentioned her right at the beginning. Forever Ever. Here it is. So this is Holly B. foreverevercrafting.com. Now, I don't know which one came first, the Holly B one or the Jan B one, but anyway, thank you to you both for sharing previously. Okay, and then this one I made using, you know, a whole kind of section, but then cut out a circle and then put that little border around it, and then just stuck that cut out bit in on the inside there. Now, probably what I should have done is stuck a white piece there first and then stuck that on, but there we go. I'll just have to write with white pen. And yeah, it's just like a fun little peekaboo there. And then the last two were my faux slimlines, what I call a faux slimline, where if you have like a lovely long section left over, but you don't want to use up so much cardstock, you can just use a normal card base and then stick it lengthways, and then there we go. So let me know which one your favourite is. Hold on, let's do this in order of how I did it on the video. So that was 1, that's 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me know which one is your favourite, and please do share any pictures of any cards or projects that you do after being inspired by my channel on Artful Stampin Space. So it's my Facebook group. There's a link a link in the description to the Facebook group. And so basically, simple rules of that group are, if you share anything, you've got to share a photograph. You can't just sort of say, hi everybody, although that's very sweet. We prefer to keep it pictures only, with maybe a little bit of a short description of how you made what you made. Some people like to take photographs of the, like if they've stamped, I don't know, for example, with some colours with their project, like these ones from last night. Some people take a photograph of the inks and sometimes the stamps to save, if just someone says, oh, what did you use? You've got a record already there. So that's up to you. That's not a requirement. I don't require that if you want to join in the chat, but some people do that, and that's very helpful. And then we have an area, a monthly area, where you can just ask questions or just chat, and also a monthly birthday card section where you can pop up a birthday card to wish all the people in that month a happy birthday. So there we go. Class information. Yes, so I've got a class on Friday and Saturday, and it's the Emboss Resist class, and it's £20. Oh, and I've made a decision about next week's blah 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 blah. What's I going to say? Next week's class for my customers. Yes, if you've done a workshop with me, if you've done workshops with me in March and April, if you've done one a month, then theoretically you've already spent £40 with me. So I thought the best way to do it is keep it simple. So basically the trick is to have spent £50 with me in 2 months. Then you get a free class the following month. All right, so spend £50 between February and March, you get a free, March and April, it's late. March and April, you get a free Zoom class in May. So if you've done 2 workshops, you've already spent £40. So what I'm going to say is, for my Zoom class people who live abroad or are not my customers or not in my team, you need to just spend the I will just charge an additional, the extra to get to the £50, so that would be £10. All right. So if you've got any questions about that, so if you have attended my classes over the last 2 months, you've just got to either pay the £20 if you haven't spent £40 with me, or make up the difference. So that's you, Glenna. Yay! So the key factor, okay, let me try and keep it simple. The key factor is basically it's the £50 spend over 2 months. That is the key factor. Okay. So if you're my customer or a team member, and you as a team member have purchased your own amount of £50, great, you can come along. If you're a customer that has spent £50, you get to come along for free. But if you have come to a class over in those 2 months and the total has come to 40, then I just require an additional £10 from you to come to the class. I hope that makes sense. If you've got any questions about that, please do just email me. Yes, Esther, I've uploaded the last video for the Boughs and Blossoms class. So Esther and I have videoed, we're not doing a Zoom class, we have videoed 4 projects and using the Boughs and Blossoms punch and stamp set. So if you want that class, it's YouTube only tutorials. It's £10, okay, and you get 4 tutorials. And if you are a customer of either myself or Esther or any of our team members, so you will know who they are if you are their customer. So I'm not going to name them all now, but you'll know who they are if you are their customer. If you bought the bundle, then the class is actually for free for you. Right. Oh, Mindy, I know Mindy's kept bugging us, Esther. We've got to sort out the infographic for that and get that out there. So Lorraine, yeah, I think you may have got to the 40. Yeah, because you've done 2 classes, I'm sure. Yeah, but they have to be, I'm sorry to be strict about this, it has to be March, April, because it's bi-monthly. So it was January, February, and then it's March, April, and then May, June. So if you do a £50 spend May, June, your class is in July. How much is £10 in US? It's about $13. Is that right? About right? Or $12, $13? Lorraine, do you think that's about right? So my £20 classes, I think, are what, $26, $25? I think. So I'm just wiping my glasses. My eyes are going a bit weird. Right. Oh, that's better, I think. Okay, any questions, please just email me. I hope I've explained that as clearly as I can. Right, lovelies. Oh, there we go, 12.20. Oh, of course, you're Canadian. Sorry, Lorraine, I forgot. Yeah, so that in Canadian it's 33 for £20 class. But if in there we go. Good night, Shaz. Rest well. Lots of love, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. And yeah, you may need to go back and watch the replay on this one, because I know that I was giving you quite a bit of information, but I had a bit of time earlier today just to prep for the class. So there we go. Right, there we go. Oh, hi, Cindy. Oh, we missed you. Watch the replay. Nice to see you, Gliz. Take care, everyone. Lots of love. Bye.